Hi, I'm Sheilaa Hite, world-class astrologer, master tarot practitioner, spellcaster, and all-around magical being. And I'm here today to talk to you about October 2020. Yes, we finally made it to October 2020. Quite something, huh? Well, the something doesn't end here. There's more to go. Today, October 1st, there's a full moon. October 31st, there will be a full moon. So the month of October is sandwiched between two full moons. So it's going to be a very spicy full moon sandwich this month. And it's so spicy, in fact, that I'm only going to present the first half of the month now, and I'll come back later and present the second half. So what I want you to do is I want you to know what's happening and how it's coming about and what you can do about it. This is an intense month, but it is not a month where you're helpless. It's a month with a lot of energy and a lot of power that you can use to make your life more, I'd say, more on target and to make your life more of what you want your life to be. So I'm actually preparing for Mercury retrograde, which is coming up in a few days. This is the second time I'm recording this same video because the time before I didn't have my AirPods in and I didn't think I needed them because I haven't before for a long time. Sure enough, the sound was minimal. So I always say when I have to repeat something, perhaps there's something more or something better I'm supposed to say. So here goes. Let's start with going back to September. We have spillover from September. On September 29th, the planet Saturn went direct. Now, I usually don't deal with the outer planets when they go direct or retrograde. I pay more attention to the more personal planets. But Saturn is big. Saturn is the planet that rules not only itself, but it rules the planet Earth. Saturn rules government. Saturn rules authority. Saturn rules society. And Saturn rules the rules. Saturn rules structure. And so what we're seeing in our lives on a daily basis are we see many a crisis of structure. And we see many a crisis, period, with authority. So Saturn has now gone direct. It's in its own sign, Capricorn. So what has been churning underneath the surface is now going to break through, and we get a chance, we get a time, an opportunity to come to some sort of resolution. The planet Mars, the planet of action, how we take action and conflict, is also going to be doing some interesting moves because as of that same day, September 29th, it squared Saturn. This is a square. It's an abrasive aspect, confrontational aspect. Mars squares Saturn. Mars is interested in going. Saturn is interested in hold it. And Saturn is interested in hold it because Saturn wants us to really take a look at how we're moving, where we're going, and what that's going to produce. So you've got impatient Mars and you've got very patient Saturn, and there is conflict. Well, how do you use that energy? Mars wants to go. Saturn also wants to go, but wants to make sure you know where you're going. So you need to check in. Is your GPS all set? Do you know the address of where you're going? Do you know how to get there? Is there gas in the car? That's what Saturn wants to know. If you can say yes to Saturn with all of those, then you as Mars can move forward. This can become this. But if you're in your ego about it, I'm Mars, I should do what I want, I'm Saturn, it's got to be my way, nothing happens. This is a very powerful opportunity to make things happen, to make them move forward. So we saw something the other night on September 29th, the day that Saturn went direct and that Mars squared Saturn, and it was called a political debate. We saw that. That is what Saturn square Mars looks like when it's out of control. That is what authority looks like. The person uh, running the debate, person in control, was not in control, did not do his job. And the person who is supposedly in control of the country was not in control. And I have no idea what he thought his job was, but he was not in control. And the person who was having to attempt to wade through all of that, the ineptness of the moderator, and the just off the charts unpleasantness of the other candidate. That yes, that you have just found out if you really needed to have me say all of this for you to figure it out. But you've just found out, yeah, I am not a fan of the current resident of the White House. And I am a fan of whoever can win and vote him out. Whoever can win if we vote him out. It is up to us to do that. However, regardless of what your feelings are on it, what we saw was a demonstration of Saturn and Mars run amok. And Saturn square Mars was what was happening. You don't want that happening in your life. That nothing gets done. Nothing happens except more confusion and more animosity. So September 29th gave us an opportunity to actually see, not to wonder what it would be like if Saturn squared Mars, not to wonder what it would be like if we didn't respect each other, not to wonder what it would be like if we didn't take responsibility for the position that we signed up for. Saturn said, I'm going to make it simple for you. Mars said, I'll help. And they acted out what it looks like. It is not productive and it's not pretty. So it's an opportunity for you to look at your own life and say, where am I allowing my ego to control my movements? How and why am I allowing this to be happening? So, what you want to do is you really want to pay attention to what you can do to move yourself forward. So, as I said today, said earlier today, October 1st, there is a full moon. On October 31st, there will be another full moon. So, full moon, full moon, and in between, a lot of intensity, a lot of spiciness. What we're going to do is we're going to look at all of that. Please make sure you set your container of water in the windowsill, or where it can connect with the energy of the moon, because you can make moon water and you can make the energy, this powerful energy of right now is the full moon. And we also do this for the new moon. We can make this powerful energy work for us. So um, I spoke about September 29th, and I spoke about this being the new moon in Aries, and I'm sorry, the full moon in Aries. And what we've got to remember is we are not in this alone. Aries tends to be very self oriented, and Libra tends to be very you oriented. So what we need is some balance there. We need the Libra to come more into center. We need the Aries to come more into center. And the full moon tells us that if we don't, it looks like that debate. So we don't need that. What we need to do is we need to take that power and we need to make the whole way we've been doing things in life, us versus them, I and thou, and we need to make that, it's really about we. It is about us working together. So this full moon in Aries gives us the opportunity to take a good look and to take action in that direction, because Aries does rule action. On the 2nd of October, the planet Venus goes into Virgo. So Venus is relationships, it's women, Venus is healing, Venus is self value, Venus is harmony. So what we have here in Venus is also value. It's going into the very analytical sign of Virgo. So let's take a look at our relationships. Let's take your look at your relationship with yourself. What are you doing? How are you doing it? What benefit are you providing yourself from doing what you do the way you do? What belief systems are energizing you? And therefore, Venus being about harmony and about balance, and Virgo being about analysis. Virgo is also the bookkeeper of the zodiac. Let's take a look and see what we need to give ourselves credit for and what has become truly a liability or a debit. And let's erase that debit. Let's stop letting the negative aspects of our relationship with ourselves and with our world and the people in it. Let's stop letting that have so much power in the books of our life. You really want to spend from a place of profit, not from a place of loss. It's about accruing, not losing. So with Venus and Virgo, you get a chance to just let's examine, let's take a look at ourselves, at our belief systems about ourselves, at our belief systems, period. Let's see what somebody being in your corner really is about, not what you believe it should be about. Let's see what you can do to make sure you bring great value to your life, to yourself. The next thing we're looking at is on October 4th, the planet Pluto goes direct in Capricorn. Again, I usually don't talk about the movement, the direct or the retrograde movement of outer planets, but this is super important. Super important because Capricorn, planet Pluto is in the sign Capricorn, and Capricorn, that's society. And Pluto is transformation. And everywhere you look in the world, society is going through major transformation. And 248 years ago, Pluto was in Capricorn. It takes Pluto 248 years to come back to a sign. 248 years ago, Pluto was in Capricorn. That was during the time of the American Revolution. This is a different revolution. It's the same America, but it's a different revolution. It's different because now we can actually look. We have recorded, we can see, we live in a time when we have access to all of those records, what the last 248 years were about. We can see what we did that was great, and therefore we need to do more of it, and what we did that was not great, and we need to not only not do that anymore, we need to do everything we can to repair that, to repair it, excuse me, to repair it, and to make sure that we don't commit those kinds of harmful acts anymore. And it is about what's happening in America. But remember, Pluto affects our entire universe. So it's also about what's happening all over the world. And as you look around the world, you see the conflict and you see how the conflagration is flaring up. But it's not flaring up everywhere. It's flaring up in places where people insist on doing the old the way they've always done it. And the old has outworn its welcome. So it's also a time, not only in the world, but in your personal world. This is a time with Pluto going direct in Capricorn for you to say, what is my structure? Capricorn rules structure. What are my rules? What is my responsibility for being a contributing social member? What is it? What is this about for me? Where do I stand? And what actions do I need to take so that my life has positive meaning? And you need to do that, of course, in the world around you. You need to do that within your own universe. You need to do that in your family unit, your work unit, with your tribe. This is an important time to acknowledge consciously that you are a part of everything that happens. Whatever the ills were of the past 248 years, especially, that we can't go back and erase those. They happened. But we can, from this moment on, move forward consciously, knowing that the ills of the past don't have to be repeated. And we can remedy, we can heal those wounds because that's what Pluto offers us. Pluto offers us a chance to be reborn, a chance to regenerate, a chance to be what we were created to be. October 7th, Mercury, the planet of communication, how we gather and process information, that planet in Scorpio will be opposite the planet Uranus in Taurus. Mercury in Scorpio, anyway, is you need to be careful because Scorpio, sharp tongue. Mercury, the way you think and speak and communicate in Scorpio, sharp tongue. Also, I think that Mercury in Scorpio is also very insightful. You can see things more clearly. You need to be conscious of what you're thinking and what you're thinking of doing and what you're thinking of saying. And you need to make sure that what you think and what you say and how you operate help the situation, whatever the situation is. And sometimes you help it by saying nothing. So with Mercury and Scorpio, you really need to say to yourself, I think it's time I say nothing. That's a good thing. Now, Mercury is opposition. There's Mercury, there's Uranus. Uranus is, wow, that just happened. Wow, I didn't see that coming. So if you've got Mercury in a relationship with, I didn't see that coming, anything can come out of your mouth. And remember, sharp tongued Scorpio, be conscious, be conscious, be conscious. You're going to hear me say that a lot tonight because that's what this month is offering you. Be conscious. Come from a conscious, responsible place with everything you do. Do not come from your ego. And if it's all about you, it's probably coming from your ego. And there are times when all about you is a great place to come from. This is not one of them. So, October 9th, the planet Mars, how we take action, how we get things done, squares the planet Pluto, transformation. Mars is called a baby Pluto. So you have a family fight. Unless someone who is more mature says, there's no need for us to fight. Let's pool our resources and let's pull together. Mars square Pluto is an automatic fight if you're in your ego, if you're unconscious. But Mars square Pluto is unlimited power and it is control of the situation if you merge the forces. If you keep your ego out of it, if you don't take it personally, if you say, I see, how can I use this to my advantage? How can I use this so that we all get something from it? That is how you need to be thinking, especially with Mars square Pluto. Then we have the Sun in Libra, ego or the heart, square, abrasive aspect, Jupiter in Capricorn. So the Sun in Libra, so you've got Libra, oh, I want balance, I want peace. But if you're coming from the ego, you're the only one who can bring it, and it has to show up this way. If you're coming from the heart, you're listening to the moment, you're listening to the situation, you're listening to people. You're saying, what is this really about? How can I help make this, whatever this situation is, how can I help make this harmonious for all of us? Jupiter is about expansion. So you can expand the craziness of the moment, or you can expand what you've discovered by being calm, which is the blessings of the moment, because Jupiter also rules blessings and luck. So if you come from your heart and if you listen and if you include all of us in this, it's not just happening to you, you have an opportunity to merge what previously was conflict, to merge that. It's all energy. It's about how you use it. Everything is energy. You are not you are not tied to one way of using energy or energy being used within you. It's the responsibility and the maturity that you use in harnessing that energy. Because if you don't harness it, it drags you. So the next time we look at movement, it's we have a busy day on October 13th. It starts with the Sun in Libra opposing Mars in Aries. Well, Mars rules Aries. So, Mars, how we take action, conflict, or constructive work, that is amplified. And it's now opposition Libra. But opposition is not a bad thing. You need points of I'd say like a telephone pole, a cell phone tower, a cell phone tower, so that the energy can go between them. So an opposition provides you with either a chance for more conflict or for understanding that there's an opportunity for us to communicate, for us to get clear, to bring the harmony that Libra promises, to take the action that Mars can provide, and work with that harmony to make our lives better. We are in so many ways a make or break situation on planet Earth at this time. We just are in little ways, in little communities, and in big ways, in big communities. So, whatever we decide to make, let's make the something from a positive, heart centered place. Also, on that day, Mercury goes retrograde. This is the third and final Mercury retrograde of the year. I would like it to be the final Mercury retrograde of forever, but I'll have to take this one. This one is quite interesting. This Mercury retrograde begins in Scorpio, so you get a chance to look over. You get a do over in a sense. Mercury rules rebirth, not Mercury, but Scorpio rules rebirth. So, Mercury, your mind, what you were thinking, what you said, what you wrote, you're getting a chance to look at that again. And you're getting a chance to say, oh, I get to do this differently, or I get to do this over. Um, I, I hopefully can repair whatever it was that I ripped apart with that Mercury and Scorpio tongue. Um, and then it's going to retrograde into Libra. So you get a chance to bring more balance in. So that by the time it moves forward on November 3rd, which is the day of the election, by the time it moves forward on November 3rd, you are thinking in terms of what will serve us all, not what will serve me, what will serve you can include yourself, but what will serve me and all of us best. Because if it's not serving you and us, it's not serving. It's kind of dragging you and it's taking your energy. This Mercury retrograde came with it came with a quote, and in my meditation, this is what I heard. This Mercury retrograde offers us cause to reflect or cause to regret, and you don't want cause to regret. So use this time to really make this yours. Use this time to make it what we're all supposed to be about here on the planet. And then go forward and do what you have to do to make sure that happens. On October 14th, the sun will square Pluto. The ego will square transformation, or the heart will be impassioned by transformation, because the square and Pluto are both about passion. So you can have the ego, the sun in an ego stance, uh, in conflict with conflagration, because Pluto can be that when it's in a conflict, or you can have the sun coming from a heart perspective and it giving new life, it giving transformational energy and powers to a new way of using your passionate energy, the energy of creation. And then the last day I'll talk about during this video will be on October 16th, the new moon in Libra. By this time, we need a new moon in Libra. It's going to be intense. So the new moon offers us a chance to plant new seeds, to do things in a different way, to be new, to be reborn. And we've already seen that that's what Pluto offers. Well, the new moon comes along every 4 weeks and offers us the same chance to be reborn. What new do you want to bring in? What seeds do you want to plant? How do you want it to be? You need to be responsible. You need to take responsibility. You need to have courage. Sometimes having courage is the only thing you can you can take with yourself as you move through this crazy world. But that's what's needed. Sometimes this new moon offers you, especially in Libra, a chance to see what it would be like if we had harmony and peace in our world. And Libra is very often mistaken for a sign that will not meet conflict. That isn't so, but Libra understands the value of meeting the conflict with what might appear to be conflict. Libra understands the value of what the fight needs to be about. It's time to take the Libra type fight out into the world and make the world a balanced, harmonious, safe place. It's time to do the same for your own inner world. Look at your personal relationships. Look at the relationships you have with your plants and your pets and your children and your neighbors and your friends and, of course, yourself. This is the time to take to make a promise to take on new ways of being in loving, healthy, harmonious, healing, positive relationship with yourself and with your world. And on that note, I will say good night and I will speak with you again about the middle of the month. So be well and many blessings to you.